Good evening and welcome to the Lions Den here tonight on Thursday night, January 26th. We have some big Big 12 action tonight between the number 5 team in 4A, the visiting Normal Community Lady Iron, and the home team Peoria High Lions, the number 3 team in 3A. Normal Community comes into this game with a 23-2 overall record. A 19-3 overall record for Peoria High. They are 1-2 in Big 12 play. Peoria High first overall at 5-0, and Normal Community 6-1, second overall. Their only loss in conference play came just 2 weeks ago to Peoria Notre Dame, 49-46. Only other loss for Normal Community was Incarnate Ward Academy from St. Louis, And this game is getting underway a little bit early here as the JV game did run short. So going to get started here around 6:15 instead of the 6:30 tip. And we'll have starting lineups here for you in just a second here as I'm joined in the broadcast booth by Lateef Love. And Lateef, we have an exciting matchup here tonight.
A very exciting matchup we have here tonight. Two of the best teams in the state, like you said. And I think for Peoria, they're just dominating. They've been dominant the whole entire season, outscoring teams by at least 32 points per game in the wins they have. They face some tough matchups throughout the entire season. One of their only losses of the season coming last week against Lincoln.
Yeah, and that Lincoln team, like you mentioned, it's taken very good clubs to beat this Peoria High team this year. Only losses were against Peoria Notre Dame, as well as that Lincoln team that he mentioned. As we get underway here, we're still trying to get you starting lineups in this one here. We've got them for Peoria High. We got number 1, Nyesha Rutherford, a 5'6 junior. Number 5, Danielle Ruffin, a 5'4 junior. Number 10, Denali Craig Edwards, a 6'1 senior. The star, number 11, Aaliyah Guyton, the 5'10 junior. And rounded out by number 24, Alana Jackson. As we are still scoreless here, as Nyesha Rutherford nails the first three-pointer of the game for Peoria High, and they are on the board here early. Forcing another turnover is Peoria High. Jackson with it in transition. Off the basket there by number 5, Danielle Ruffin. Ball will stay with Peoria High as Guyton now under the basket with it.
Yeah, we've seen Peoria High come out in the press coverage, being very aggressive in the first quarter. They're only allowing 36 points per game, so defense is really a part of the way they're successful.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned it. Peoria High very stingy on defense this year. We saw that the last time I was in the booth against Richwoods, a game they really dominated from start to finish. As Normal Community looks to get on the board for their first basket of the game here. We get a travel. Ball will go back to Peoria High as they look to increase their lead in the first quarter. Like we mentioned, game is starting a little bit sooner than originally anticipated. Was a 6:30 tip, now a 6:15 tip. Varsity game did run a little short. And we've got starting lineups now for Normal Community. We got number 1, Sophie Feeney, a 5'5 senior guard. Number 11, Gianna Rawlings, a junior guard. Number 15, Allie Rustenmeyer, a junior combo guard. 21, Olivia Corson, the junior combo guard at 5'11. And number 24, Allie Ince, junior for Normal Community, rounds out the starting lineup now as Guyton gets a clean look. Good pass from Denali Craig Edwards, coming off a double-double in that win against Peoria Notre Dame. As another travel here for Normal Community as they're having a little bit of trouble getting the lid off the basket here early. Couple of turnovers, couple missed shots for Normal Community. Out of whack here to start the game, Lateef.
Yeah, and I think it's important for them to just settle down, not let Peoria speed them up with the aggressive defense they're playing. I think Peoria is getting into the offense and getting a lot of execution, moving the ball around, finding open shots. They just haven't been able to hit all of them.
And you see the bodies flying. Denali Craig Edwards working hard underneath the basket there. Draws the foul on number 1 for Normal Community. That's Sophie Feeney. Her first, team first for Normal Community. It's still 3-0 here early. And as we mentioned, if you are at home tonight, the roads are bad. But the basketball is good here in Peoria. Tune in on ClutchSportsIL.com as we have the number 5 team in 4A in Normal Community and the number 3 team in 3A in Peoria High battling it out here tonight in a big Big 12 matchup with first place on the line in conference play here. These teams combined 11-1 in conference play. Normal Community 11-1, Peoria High 5-0. As Normal Community taking their time this possession, working to get it down low. Corson gets it stripped. And now that's Jackson, and I believe it's 15 for Normal Community, 15 Rustenmeyer battling for it on the floor. And we have a sub now for Normal Community. That's 23, Raina Powers, the sophomore guard, into the game now for substitution for the Lady Iron. Inbound pass there. Now in the corner is the newly Powers just entered the game. Feeney controls it out top, gives it to Corson. She looks inside. Tough pass there to Rustenmeyer. Good defense by Guyton. And I believe that was Craig Edwards tying it up and forcing the jump ball back to Peoria High. Looks like there's a timeout on the floor called by Normal Community here. Latif, what have you seen so far? Not a whole lot of action here in this first 3 minutes.
Yeah, I want to say I think that's a good timeout by Coach Finney for Normal Community. His girls need to settle down. Getting sped up by that Peoria defense, and like you see, Peoria will have the ball coming out that timeout, and so they just need to calm down, commit a couple turnovers early. I like the effort I'm seeing from Peoria on defense. Just need to see their defense transition to their offense. Yeah,
absolutely. I think, that's the thing. Sometimes they say on the road the hardest bucket to get's that first, and I think if you're Normal Community, you just need to focus on getting the ball inside, get some easy looks. And, sometimes they say the best offense is really good defense, and they've played that really. I mean, both teams played that well here so far as we have just 3 points as we're about to hit the 5-minute mark in the first quarter as Craig Edwards with a 3 in the corner, no good. Corson for the Lady Iron pulls down the board, has it stolen though by Ruffin. She dials up a triple, and Ruffin right there off defense, turning defense into offense for Ruffin, gets the swipe, settles into a nice little open jumper on the wing, and it's 6-0 Peoria High as they're harassing the ball handlers now for Normal Community as Feeney with it on the floor, bodies flying, kicked ball now. Just really aggressive defense here by Peoria High, doing a really good job of trapping the ball handler. Rawlings there in no man's land in the corner, got trapped. Ball will stay with Normal Community on the kick ball. 24 Ince for Normal Community back in the game as she inbounds it now to Feeney. And boy, look at this defense out top by Guyton and Rutherford, really making things tough. Nice move to the basket there by Ince, and Normal Community has their first basket of the game. Nice offensive possession there. Way to settle down after a little bit of a scramble drill with the loose ball.
Yeah, most important thing on that possession, a lot of ball fakes. The easiest way to beat that trap is to get the defenders out of position, and you're able to make a move to the basket.
Absolutely, and I think Ruffin will ask for a pass there to Denali Craig Edwards as she leaves the floater short, but Craig Edwards right there to clean it up. Nice hand there by Rutherford as Craig Edwards cleans it up. Peoria High with another turnover, and they push. Guyton leaks out wide open in the corner, and Aaliyah Guyton is just not going to miss too many of those, Latif, and you just cannot leave her open if you're Normal Community.
Yeah, Aaliyah Guyton has offers from a lot of Power 5 schools, including Nebraska, MSU, Iowa, Mizzou, and DePaul, the number 1 ranked point guard in Illinois for her class in 2024. A very promising prospect. She's a daughter of a Big Ten guard, so basketball just runs in her blood.
Yeah, A.J. Guyton is who he's talking about, former Peoria High star guard, played at Indiana, was drafted in the second round by the Chicago Bulls in the 2000 NBA draft. So yeah, like you mentioned, those are the basketball genes you want to come from if you're Aaliyah Guyton, and she puts it on display there, as Latif mentioned, showing why she's one of the top prospects in the state of Illinois. And really, state of Illinois well represented really throughout the state, up and down the last couple years in terms of high-level prospects coming out of the state. And Guyton looks to just be the next one in line there as Corson takes it coast to coast. And she is on the board now for Normal Community And Latif, if Normal Community wants to win this game, things have got to go through number 21, Olivia Corson. Nice move there, though, by Jackson. She's on the board now, her first 2 points. It's 13-4 for Peoria High after Normal Community has scored 2 baskets here on back-to-back possessions for their first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, and as important as Olivia Corson is for this team, they have to win this game as a team. Just converting, first of all, getting the ball past half court. It's really been a struggle for them to break this press. They got to keep the ball in the middle, not getting those corners, and not allow Peoria to trap them in those corners.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't get caught in that short corner, especially as aggressive as Peoria High is on that trap. If you pick up the dribble, it's going to be very hard to keep possession of that. As Denali Craig Edwards shows her versatility, she stretches the floor in the corner, knocks down a triple. She's got a game-high 5 so far for Peoria High, as they are now up 12, 16-4. Foul called on number 5, Danielle Ruffin, for Peoria High, her first, team first. Normal Community has used 2 of their 5 timeouts here in the first half, as Coach David Feeney not happy with what he's seen to open this game. He'll like that, though. Nice aggressive move by Raina Power. She gets to the rim, and Normal Community will have their first attempt from the line. And really, Latif, when things aren't going on offense, that's the place you got to get to, is a charity stripe.
Yeah, that's the easiest way for you to score, get back in the game, knocking free throws down as she does right there with the first one. Getting to the line just opens up the basket for you. It gains your confidence and things of that nature. So when they're able to get to the free throw line, it just makes them more confident, make them more aggressive, knowing they can get foul calls and easy points at the foul line.
As she goes 1 of 2 there from the line. Pass there by Craig Edwards to Guyton. Nifty little move in traffic there. And Guyton joins Craig Edwards with 5 points. And what a show Aaliyah Guyton putting on here early in the Lions' den. Peoria High up 18-5. As Craig Edwards thought that was a shot there, she does throw it to Kennedy Jackson. She works now. She gets right to the rim. If it's not one, it's the other for Peoria High beating Normal Community right now. All 5 starters have scored, as out of sync possession there for Normal Community. They throw it away. Ince turns it over, ball back to Peoria High, up 13. As Gina Rawlings will check back into the game for Normal Community. And 3, Serena Winters is in for Peoria High. Peoria High goes to their bench. Miscommunication there between Winters and Rutherford. And that's Rawlings right there to clean it up for the basket. Heads-up play there by Rawlings. Her first points of the night. A little bit of a miscommunication there between the fresh-off-the-bench Winters and Rutherford, the inbounder. And if you're Normal Community, those are the kind of points, the free points you'll take. Down now 11 here in this early in the first quarter, as Guyton has her shot blocked. Gets it back, though. Winters probes now, throws up a floater, leaves it short. Craig Edwards working hard in there. Two on her, and she flips it up, and she's going to the foul line now for Peoria High. Really active down there on the low block for Craig Edwards. Seen her pull down a number of offensive rebounds already.
Yeah, you're just seeing 2 different games from these teams. I feel as Normal Community has been sped up by this Peoria Lions defense, have been a little bit undisciplined, haven't been getting into their offense. And due to Feeney calling those timeouts too early, if he wants to stop the bleeding down the stretch in this first half, it's going to be really hard for him to do because he already used 2 timeouts.
As Craig Edwards makes the first there, nails a pair at the line. She's at 7. That's a game high, as she has matched the scoring output by the entire Normal Community team so far here. Sloppy play there in transition. Guyton right to steals it, gives it to Rutherford. She does miss. Jackson now has it off the offensive glass. She flips up another board for Denali Craig Edwards inside, and her size really playing a factor early here, as Rutherford unable to get the 3 to go, and Feeney with it now for Normal Community has it across the timeline. As Rawlings lines up a 3, gets a good look, really probably the best look Normal Community's got from outside tonight, unable to get it to go. Ball back to Peoria High. Winters with it now as she looks to start the offense. Guyton's got it now, as Peoria High can just burn some clock here, be really patient, get whatever shot they like. And if you're Peoria High, it's a tale of a start of a half here. For Peoria High, this is exactly how you could have hoped this game has gone. And for Normal Community, this is the exact opposite of what you expected on the bus ride up here.
Yeah, it's important coming off a loss. You want to come out and really dominate your first game after a loss. So that's really good for Peoria's confidence coming out after that loss to Lincoln. Going up 20-7, being patient here, trying to end the quarter with a great shot. And the ball is in the best player's hand.
Yeah, absolutely. As Guyton works now on Feeney, as she throws it to Rutherford in the corner, Craig Edwards looked to pass it. She throws it up, unable to get it to go, as Peoria High builds a 13-point advantage, 20-7 here after one quarter here in the Lions' Den. Latif, what did you see from both teams in that first quarter?
From Normal Community, I just they were just sped up a lot, and they didn't rebound. It allowed too many offensive rebounds, which led to second chance points for Peoria. So that's really detrimental. That's really been a difference in this game. Defensive effort for Peoria, and then rebounding for Normal Community. They also haven't been able to execute their offense as well because they're keeping sped up in the half court. They have to keep the ball in the middle, don't get the balls in the corner, and then slow down, execute their offense. If I'm Coach Feeney in this break right here, I'm preaching patience. We're down 20-7 early, but the game is not over. They can start converting on offense, get some stops on defense. They're allowing Peoria to get too many open shots, get too many offensive rebounds. So they just have to convert on offense and then create pressure on defense as well, because I think Peoria is getting everything too easy right now.
Absolutely. I think the thing you mentioned there is time. But to start the second quarter here in the line, there's still plenty of time left in this game. Normal Community certainly as capable a team as any, 23-2 overall record this year coming into the game. 4-0 at the Inter-City Tournament to start the year. Went 4-0 at the State Farm Holiday Classic with big wins over Wheaton, Warrenville South, Morton, Mundelein, Carmel, and Washington. So they've been there. They've been here before this season, played in the big games. Certainly not scared of Peoria High. And after an early punch in the mouth, we'll see how Normal Community can respond here as we get the second quarter underway. Good start. Thought was going to be a good start to the quarter for Normal Community. They do get a good shot at the rim there. Powers unable to get it to go, and Guyton running the offense fires a pass out to Jackson in the corner. Nice find there by Aaliyah Guyton on the move to find Jackson in the corner, and she knocks down the triple. Great start there for Peoria High.
And you can see why Guyton is special. That was a cross-court pass all the way to the corner. I thought she maybe was shooting that, but she hits the corner for the three. Really special play right there.
An undervalued part of the pass, Latif, is not only getting it to the shooter, but getting it to the shooter in a spot where they don't have to get off their spot and go grab the ball. And Guyton put that one right in the shooting pocket for Jackson, and she rewards her teammate with a nice pass with a triple. 23-7 here. As we mentioned, the game did start a little bit early. Was supposed to tip off at 6:30. JV game ran very short, so the game started at about 6:15 here as the body's hitting the floor here in Peoria, hustling on the floor. Ball will go back to Peoria High. Nice hustle there by 15 Rustenmeyer and 24 Jackson for Peoria High and Normal Community. And let's see what Peoria High can do here on their second possession of the second quarter. As Rutherford now gives it back to Jackson, who made the three on the previous possession. Good tip there by Corson. As now ball back in Guyton's hands as she looks to create. Gets right to the rim, kicks it out again for three. Nice heads-up play there, though, by Rawlings to slide underneath of Guyton as she went in the air to deliver the pass in the corner to Rutherford. And if you're Normal Community, this has a chance to be a 6-point swing because Rutherford made that three there in the corner. So nice little potential momentum swing here for Normal Community. Smart play there by Rawlings as Guyton got up in the air to make that pass.
And when you're making a comeback, you need big momentum plays like that to spark the comeback. Like you said, 6-point swing, and there goes the basket right there. So you need those plays, those momentum builders, energy starters to restart the comeback. Nice
little lefty finish there by Corson as Rutherford with another look in the corner, unable to get that one to go. As Ruffin there got a little bit too aggressive, trying to come from behind and get the steal, and she is flagged for her second foul of the game. Fourth overall on Peoria High. A little sideline out of bounds now for Normal Community, who is down 14 here in the second quarter, 23-9, with just under 6 minutes left to play here in the second quarter. As Jackson putting good pressure on Corson, way out top by half court. Corson takes her off the dribble, has it knocked out of her hands into the hands of Ruffin, who loses it momentarily. As Rawlings putting pressure on her now as Jackson gets it across the timeline for Peoria High. She drives, kicks to Guyton in the corner. Now Guyton on the move. Another open look for Rutherford in the corner. Third time's a charm now for Rutherford as she has 6 points. A triple there for her, second triple of the quarter for Peoria High. Lead back up to 17 now for the Lions as another foul down low there on Jackson. Fifth team foul on Peoria High, Jackson's first. Feeney back into the game for Normal Community, and 13 Trinity Childs into the 5'9" senior into the game for Peoria High.
Normal Community is doing a good job of closing out the drive for Guyton, but they're not doing a good job of closing out, allowing Peoria Lions shooters to get open and they're knocking down their shots. They're limiting Guyton so far this game, but the others are beating them. The others on the Lions are beating them, making them pay for all of the attention they're giving Guyton.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, that attention, especially when she's driving down the lane close to the rim, it feels like Denali Craig Edwards has done a lot of her work when Guyton's missed those shots in the lane or kicked it out to an open teammate. Just so much attention on her allows Craig Edwards to slip into good rebounding position for the offensive board. As Guyton, I think that's just one of those things that's so special about Peoria High so far to start the year as Craig Edwards knocks down another triple. She's up to 10. Is that, you know, they do have Aaliyah Guyton, and that's where the offense flows through. But the team's only going to go as far as the other players go. And so far to start the year and to start this game, Peoria High's so-called other players have really showed up.
It's a really well-balanced team. It's just not Aaliyah Guyton. You know, they have a lot of talent on this team. They're also young. A couple juniors in the starting lineup and throughout the entire roster. So this team is looking good down the stretch and also in coming years. They're young, but they're experienced. They're well-balanced. They're good on defense. They're good on offense. So Peoria has a good future ahead of them, Coach Michi Edwards.
Absolutely. A hard screen there by Child. She's called for the illegal screen. Turnover for Peoria High. Ball back to Normal Community. The lead is now ballooned up to 20 for Peoria High, 29-9 with 4:08 here left here in the second quarter as Normal Community looking for any kind of answers on the offensive end of the floor. Guyton's got pressure on Feeney out front, forces her to pick up the dribble. And the ball pressure tonight for Peoria High so far in the first half, I think has really caught Normal Community almost by surprise tonight.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting Peoria to come out and be so aggressive and go get after it on defense, but they haven't yet adjusted to the defensive pressure. Feeney used two timeout early, but I don't think his players have responded as well. I wonder what he told them in these timeouts he's been taking. They just need to slow down, try to execute their offense, not allow the Lions to speed them up. It's a tall task. It's just easy to say that. Don't allow somebody to speed up. But playing basketball like I have in the past, when you're facing that defensive pressure, it's hard to think what you're going to do next, a pass you're going to make next, how you're going to execute your offense. So they had to show some mental toughness down 20 late in the second quarter.
Yeah, going to be a tall hill to climb here, but like we mentioned, if any team can do it, it is Normal Community. One of the best teams in the state of Illinois, one of the best teams in the class of 4A, ranked number 5 coming into this game. So two of the best teams in the state of Illinois for girls basketball facing off right here in Big 12 action, and we're just lucky enough to get to watch it, Latif. As Guyton now with it, got Corson on her across the timeline. And they're going to get Rutherford. Looks like Rutherford dropped that ball out of bounds. Turnover there for Peoria High. This ball back to Normal Community now. So they're still looking to chip into this lead. And Feeney stuck there by Guyton, really using that length. Guyton much taller. Feeney only stands about 5'5", according to the roster on Max Preps. Guyton about 5'10". 5'9", 5'10", so certainly a much taller player, much longer player and she's got it here, running the offense in transition. A Normal Community. Guyton hits the floor. Feeney hits the floor. They stop Guyton in transition. Foul is going to be on 21, though Olivia Corson, the junior Normal Community, her second foul, their fourth. Sideline out of bounds for Peoria High, as Powers checks into the game for Corson. Certainly don't want her to pick up her third foul here before the half. As Guyton now with it, working on Powers. See what Peoria High can draw up here as they look to increase their lead and deliver a big blow here late in the second half, or first half. Guyton and Craig Edwards working a little two-man game out front. Guyton snatch, dribble, steps back, unable to get the foul to go, but look at Trinity Childs working hard in there, coming off the bench. The senior pulls down an offensive rebound. Now she's going to the free throw line for Peoria High. Nice effort there by Trinity Childs, not giving up on the play, working hard, getting the loose ball, and now getting a chance to get herself in the score sheet.
Yeah, and I think at this point the Lions have shown so far that they just want it more. They just want the game more. They're showing a lot more effort on offense and defense, and I think that's something that's going to have to change in the second half. I think Feeney's going to have to go in there and inspire his girls. Like, you guys have to want this. You guys have to want to win. And I think for the Lions, it's a product of that loss they just took to Lincoln. They know they're one of the best teams in the state, and everybody knows they're one of the best teams in the state. So when you have a loss like that to a tough team, you want to come out the next game and dominate. That's what they've done so far.
Yeah, and certainly, and they have done that, responded in a big way here on their home floor, as they are up 30 to 9 right now. Wild shot there by Jackson, as Normal Community has it back here. Good hand there by Childs in transition as they reset the possession now for Normal Community under the basket. Where does the offense come if you're Normal Community? Those are the answers they're going to be looking for at halftime, as Corson is their leading scorer with 4, and they take a 5-second call as they just cannot figure out this tough Peoria High defense. Whether it's in the press breaker or in the half-court offense, Peoria High has been tough to crack so far in this game.
I think as much as their defense is led by, their offense is led by Guyton, their defense is led by Guyton as well. Like you mentioned, 5'10", really long compared to other girls on the court. It offers a unique experience because once she's putting pressure on the Normal Community guards, and then once the missed shot or the turnover she forced, she gets out in transition and creates the offense.
Absolutely, and especially at the high school level when you have a player of Guyton's size, usually she's down on the low post defending the bigs or the forwards, but she's out on the top of that 2-3 zone defending guards, putting pressure on them and ball screens. So really a versatile player as she did score that last basket on the offensive end. As she's up to 7 now. That's her bread and butter is on the offensive end, but she really hangs her hat on defense, and she's as good as a defensive player as any. Nice pass there in transition to Rutherford, gets it back, relocates to the corner, knocks down the triple, and Guyton just having fun here tonight now with 10 points, joins Craig Edwards in double figures, her second triple of the night, and Peoria High threatened to really running away with this one here in the first half.
And Guyton just showing why she's a Big 12 Conference Player of the Year, looking like she's going to repeat this year if Peoria keeps dominating. On that last play, just did everything. Got the ball in transition, made a great pass. Her teammate couldn't go for it, so she goes around, almost like Steph Curry right there. You know how he passes it and he goes to the corner, runs around for 3, and she gets it and knocks it down. Just a special player.
Yeah, absolutely. Constantly moving, hard to track. And if you're Normal Community, you've let her leak out a couple times in transition. You've given her a couple open looks, and that's just the one player you can't do that to, especially in a game where now Peoria High can really take their time, slow down these possessions, and really work this clock up 25. As Allie Ince at the free throw line for Normal Community. She goes 1 out of 2 at the line. 3 points for Ince. As Guyton now under a minute left to play here in the second period. 35-10, Peoria High in front. Has really came out guns a-blazing in this first half against Normal Community. Jumped on them from the first tip. Have not looked back so far as they look to carry a commanding lead into the halftime break as they're just swinging it around on the perimeter here, working it around, holding for the last shot. And that's one of the luxuries you have in high school basketball with no shot clock. When you get up big like this, you can just really work this clock, and you really don't have to be in any hurry on offense.
Yeah, maybe Coach Edward, that's what he tells the team at halftime. I think he's going to tell them to stay aggressive. They want to prove that they're the best team in this conference. They are proving that in the first half. But if they stay patient, they can take a lot of time and make it come back a lot harder for the Normal Community.
And I actually like what you said there about the be aggressive, because there's a difference between playing really being, I don't want to say playing passive on the perimeter, just passing around, doing that, as opposed to passing with a purpose and still looking to be aggressive while still taking your time and looking for that best shot, because the game is not over yet, and Normal Community is a capable team. And if you start to just, as Peoria High, work it around the perimeter, take bad shots, start to turn the ball over, and not be aggressive and still look for those looks in the first half, this 25-point lead can be cut in half just like that.
And I don't think that's going to happen. I think Peoria probably hangs on to this lead because they're just showing a lot more defensive effort, and that's what's really has sparked this lead. As good as they've been on offense, it's been started with defense. And so as far as coming out and being conservative, I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to play smart. It's like a happy medium. You play smart, but you also try to be aggressive and make sure that this lead cannot, be like the comeback cannot happen at all.
And Latif, we're going to give you the coaches board here for a little bit. If you're head coach David Feeney right now in the halftime locker room, what are you telling your players for Normal Community?
I'm telling them, first of all, you have to rebound. That's the main thing. Too many offensive rebounds for the Lions. And then next, we got to come out and be aggressive. Like we just talked about the Lions maybe playing smart, a shade of conservatism. The Normal Community has to be very, very aggressive coming out in the second half. And that's on offense and defense. First, you have to get coursing the ball, get her going, because she's their best player. So she needs to get going. Feeney needs to find a way to get her more involved in the offense, run some sets for her to get her going. If she gets hot, then this lead can go down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's that's the recipe for success for Normal Community so far this year, and they're going to are in a very, very unfamiliar position. We'll see how they play from as far behind as they are tonight. We'll know the answer to the question, who wins this matchup tonight in the Lions Den. Big Big 12 action tonight between Peoria High and Normal Community. Second half getting ready to start here in about 8 minutes. We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on ClutchSportsIL.com. she is just a handful in transition.
Really tough, strong move, laying it up through the contact. It's pretty hard not to, anticipate a call and just finish, but she did a good job right there.
Nice little two-man game there between Rawlings. I think that's Rustenmeyer there. Rustenmeyer really gotten it going here in this second half, up to 7 points all in this quarter. There's a nice pass there by Rawlings to find her, and Rutherford with an answer on the other end. Rutherford up to 8 points now for the point guard. The junior, Naisha Rutherford, with an answer on the other end. And Childs gets caught with her hand in the cookie jar there, whistled for the foul. Ball underneath her second, Peoria High second here in the third quarter. Ball underneath for Normal Community. And boy, Lateef, it feels like every time Normal Community gets a little bit of momentum, they make a basket, they get a turnover. Peoria High just has an answer to kind of to stall all that momentum.
And that's what makes a good team. I had to say, in my years of watching girls basketball, this is one of the most complete teams I've ever seen. They're led by Leah Guyton, but they just have shooters on the wings, and they also they defend really well coached. You can tell they spend a lot of hours practicing fundamentals, the small stuff. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and so I think when you let a team get a little bit of momentum, you have to punch back, hit a three of your own, or get a basket of your own. They're doing a really good job of that today.
Absolutely. And I had a high school coach who told us that basketball is a game of rifts and valleys, and the good teams are the teams that usually win the games are the ones who can ride the highs and get out of the valleys as quick. And boy, Peoria High is riding a high of a high as you can ride here, and Normal Community has just been unable to get themselves out of that low really all game from the jump. And credit to Peoria High, they came ready to play tonight, coming off a tough loss against Lincoln. And I think any loss is motivation, but certainly one you lose like that to a team by 7 points who's undefeated on the season. Guyton versus Chloe Froby, D1 prospect on D1 prospect. So that's a tough loss for Peoria High, and they have really responded well here tonight.
Yeah, it was a loss, but it was a close game. So I think it really let them know where they stand in the state, the teams they can compete with. If they play a little bit better game, maybe the outcome is different. And so even though it's a loss, I think it can be motivation. Like, we can really do this. We can really make a state run this year. We can be a really good team. We can go down in Peoria history if we just, tighten some things up. I noticed Coach Edwards called a timeout when they weren't executing offense earlier in the quarter, and it wasn't really needed. But it seems like he wants to make sure, even though they're up big, they want to execute plays and execute their offense just in case in the future. So when they face tougher opponents, they can have practice doing it regardless of the situation. Yeah,
absolutely, and that's that. The attention to detail and doing all the little stuff right that makes a team really good and will make them dangerous come tournament time. And Peoria High as good at the little stuff as any team in the Big 12 and was perfect at the little stuff so far here tonight as Guyton dials up a triple, unable to get it to go. Now Powers pushes for Normal Community. She gets it out to Feeney. She looks to drive inside, is cut off by Childs, who's given Peoria High some good minutes off the bench. As Rutherford really hounding Corson. Rawlings dials up a triple, can't get it to go. Feeney working hard, gets the offensive rebound. Nice move there by Feeney. Boy, hitting the deck through the contact, no whistle. Strong move there by Sophie Feeney.
Yeah, really nice layup. Wasn't afraid of contact, went straight to the basket, really hard. That's the type of buckets that Normal Community needs in order to chip this lead down. But they got to start on the defense end. And they can't allow easy shots like that. Got to do a much better job of closing out.
Good pass there by Corson to find Powers. Settles it down. Feeney now for three, unable to get it to go. Lauren Havala with the board for Normal Community. As Guyton now a little out of control there, corrals it, and she slows it down. Hits now to Winters. She drives in to Childs in the corner. Now back out top to Rutherford. Peoria High resets. Guyton now ball on her hip. Really taking her time here in no hurry. Peoria High up 19, 47-27. There's a pretty good quarter here for Normal Community. They've chipped into that lead a little bit, but it might not be enough. Still a 19-point deficit as Guyton just dancing with the ball now. Gets a screen from Craig Denali Edwards, doesn't use it, kicks it out to the corner to Winters. Winters to Rutherford. She doesn't like it, and they reset again.
Really good patience from the lines right there.
Absolutely, and this is what you get afforded when you're up this many points. You can really work the ball around, work your sets, look for the best possible shot, and using as much time on that clock as possible. As Craig Edwards now looking to, Guyton does want her and Craig Edwards doing a little bit of a two-man game out top there. Now she does get the screen from Craig Edwards. Kicks it to Rutherford. Back now to Guyton as she splits it. Gets to the lane, kicks it to Rutherford in the corner. Hot hand for Rutherford. Unable to get it to go. Tipped around. Ball looks like it will stay with Peoria High. 101 on the shot on the game clock here. Peoria High will have time to get a chance for one more look before the end of the third quarter.
Yeah, for Norman Community, you can't let them just run a clock out like that. You got to put some, send a double team, send a lot of pressure, force them to make a mistake or something like that. You can't just allow them to that's valuable time that you need in the comeback, so you can't let them run a clock out like that. But from Peoria, I saw a lot of discipline on that possession. Had a lot of open shots they could have took, but found the best shot. And I really like the vision from Guyton. I've never seen a player as young as her be able to drive and hit the corners and have as much vision out of a pick and roll like she does. That's very special to see from a young player.
Yeah, special player, special bloodlines. Like we mentioned, her father, A.J. Guyton, former star here at Peoria High. Her mother had a 20-year pro basketball career that included playing for the Brazilian national team and the Phoenix Mercury. So you're talking about elite bloodlines when it comes to a high school basketball player and the kind of parents that you'd like. And you can see that work ethic and the dedication to the game and the skill as that the parents have has really trickled down to the daughter, and they have raised a terrific player, and the future is very bright for Aaliyah Guyton.
Yeah, and having all that success in the family, I wonder if that comes with like a lot of pressure. You got to fill the shoes of your parents. Like that's pretty big. And unless she's handling it well, she has a lot of offers from various numbers of schools, and a lot of them Power 5, MSU, Nebraska. But she still has a year to go, so those might go up, get offers from like South Carolina or Stanford or even UConn, programs like that. So I think the future is very bright for her, and the ceiling is limitless.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy to think that she is just a junior, and some of the youth, not only just at Peoria High but throughout the programs in Central Illinois, some of these girls have 2-3 more years left of eligibility and playing time left. A lot of accolades left to come for some of these players as Powers has it blocked underneath by Ruffin, and Guyton now with it throws it ahead to Rutherford, and she kicks it back out to Denali Craig Edwards, who sets her feet for three. Nice catch and shoot triple there from Denali Craig Edwards. She's got 13 for the Lions. Lead back up to 20. It's at 22 now, 49-27 as the fourth quarter just underway here in the Lions' den. And the thing you see with Peoria High, Latif, still even here late in this ball game, up 22. They are really putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers for Normal Community, and they're not taking any plays off as Rustenmeyer, nice little turnaround there. I think she was a little bit surprised at how open she was, but she finishes it nonetheless. 9 points now for Rustenmeyer, all coming here in the second half as Denali Craig Edwards, maybe a little bit of a heat check three there, can't get it to go. Powers has it now over the timeline for the Lady Iron, down 20. And for Normal Community, if you want any chance of a comeback, you've got to start scoring baskets quickly here. And misses like that from Rustenmeyer just really kind of sum up the night that Normal Community's had here tonight. As she gets a wide open look right at the cup and unable to get it to go.
Yeah, really tough night for Normal Community, but you can't come back in this game. You go back to the drawing board. You're still a very good team. Still, we'll be 23-3 at that point. Still maybe have a shot at the conference. So crazier things have happened. So you got to go back to the drawing board, chalk this up as a bad performance, and just continue on with your season.
And there's Guyton in transition. As she's up to 18 points now. Craig Edwards with a nice find there. Her find 10 to 11. The dynamic Peoria High duo. Look at Craig Edwards running the show here.
Yeah, showing her versatility. I've noticed like she can bang down low, she can shoot, she can pass, she can handle the ball. It seems like a lot of players on this Peoria team can do that. They're also very unselfish. They don't have any egos. They're not playing for themselves. They're playing for their team, moving the ball around a lot, getting each other involved, and that's what leads to their success. Like great pass right there, another great pass, and then the shot.
And look at this great ball movement by Peoria High, swinging it around, getting open looks. Guyton unable to get that one to go. As just a really impressive overall performance so far by Peoria High. As Ince slips it, she gets the pass, gets to the rim. She's got 7 now for Normal Community, who are down 20, 51-31 here in the Lions' Den. As tough an environment as any on the road, and Peoria High defending that home court well here tonight. And for Normal Community, I think you have to at least, get the referee to start the 5 count. You can't just let them sit out there with the ball on the hip and just draw time off the clock. And then Aaliyah Guyton, that's just special. Latif through the contact, gets it to go to the free throw line. What a night she's had.
Yeah, she's up to 20 points and a complete night as well, passing on defense, driving to the basket, shooting. She has a very, very complete game. I don't see many weaknesses in it. Probably can learn how to score more in mid-range. That's probably the only area of the game I haven't seen on tonight that she displayed, but very complete game for her. You can see why she's the #1 ranked point guard in the entire state.
Certainly, and she completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way. She's got 21 now for the Lions as she's hounding Feeney down low, gets the steal, behind the back dribble. Aaliyah Guyton putting on a show, unable to get that one to go though. Now as Powers running with it, her and Feeney, she kicks it to Feeney in the corner. Head fakes, gets to the rim, kicks it out to Corson. Corson now takes Ruffin off the dribble. Good defense there by Ruffin, but an even better finish by Olivia Corson to get that one to go. Through a little bit of contact, it looked like Ruffin might have knocked that ball out of her hands on the way up.
Yeah, she hasn't had a very loud night, but getting us a couple buckets to go despite being down can really keep her confidence for the entire season.
Denali Craig Edwards up to 15 now, and that dynamic Peoria duo combining for 36 points between the two of them. 15 for Craig Edwards and 21 for Aaliyah Guyton. They themselves have outscored the Lady Iron tonight, and just a really dominating performance for these Peoria High Lions. Have put the rest of 3A and the rest of Big 12 on notice with this statement win here tonight. As Powers now with it, gets right to the rim. She's up to 5 now, and Powers giving Normal Community good minutes off the bench. Chipped in a little bit of scoring, played some good defense on the other end. As now Peoria High is in clock chew mode, and Normal Community seems to be content with letting them chew up as much time as possible as Guyton gets right by Corson, kicks it to Rutherford in the corner. And Powers has it now. Corson with it across the timeline for Normal Community. Gets it ahead. That's 25. Brylan Dowd with it. And it's turnover. Jackson with it. Ball back to Peoria High. She coast to coast. Can't finish at the rim though. And Feeney has it now again for Normal Community as they look to break into this 21-point lead that Peoria High's built up. Another strong move there by Corson. Can't get that one to go. Gets her own miss, though. Nice pass there to Dowd, and she can't get that one to go either. Lid on the basket these last couple possessions for Normal Community, and they've gotten some shots right at the rim, just unable to get them to go.
Yeah, very off night for them, but they're a very good team. They'll bounce back in the next game. Probably see them come out very aggressive in the next game, very aggressive on defense, very aggressive on offense. When they're going back to practice this week, they're probably going to practice rebounding and breaking the press. That's been one of the bigger issues. But I noticed Naisha Rutherford, I wonder if she's a relative of Kenny Rutherford, who plays for the Peoria Lions football team, one of the best corners in the state. He also plays quarterback as well. It seems this community, the family traditions run deep in this community. They're very family-oriented and very athletic. They have a lot of athletic families in Peoria, so that's something cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of multi-sport athletes as well, which is something you love about these Central Illinois sports. These athletes playing on both sides of the ball, playing multi-sports as well. So just a lot of great athletic genes and traits in the city of Peoria. And that is on full display here tonight. Really frustrating night for Normal Community all around. For Olivia Corson in particular, she picked up her 4th foul there. And she's just the Lady Iron star player. Really had a rough night all around. Frustrating night for the Lady Iron as they will keep possession here. And Latif, I want to jump back to that first half, because especially in the first quarter in particular, because I really thought that's when the game started to get away from Normal Community, because they were getting a lot of Peoria High was missing a lot of their first looks initially on offense, but were just able to get numerous offensive rebounds right underneath the hoop that led to easy baskets. And to get clean looks like that after a team has played so well and worked so hard on defense to get a stop, that's just demoralizing.
Yeah, well, it starts with those offensive rebounds. If you're able to get a couple easy buckets, it'll be easy to start knocking down those open threes that they were getting. And I think for Normal Community, they just weren't hitting the gimmies. Missed a couple of layups, wide open threes they were getting. As little as they broke down this Peoria defense, when they got the open shots, they weren't able to convert. And so that's really big for them. They need to knock down those open shots. And so to start the game, both teams started off flat, but the separation was definitely defensive intensity, offensive rebounds, and just effort overall.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Peoria High is at home here, so this adage doesn't necessarily make a whole lot of sense, but they say defense travels. And for Peoria High, I think you feel really confident in your ability to win basketball games, even if you are struggling on the offensive end of the floor, that you can hang your hat on defense and make things just as difficult for the other team. And that's certainly a luxury to have in a league where at times it can be hard to generate consistent offense and put up high scoring numbers with a league that is as competitive as the Big 12 Conference is.
Yeah, and all of high school sports, is kind of hard to generate offense on a nightly basis, especially because most teams just have 1 or 2 key players, and if they're not getting it going, then it's hard for you guys, for a team to score. But this team has a multitude of talent, a multitude of scores. So if for once they have an off night, they can hang their hat on defense and then create turnovers and easy buckets in transition, which they did tonight, which opens up the offensive game even more.
Yeah, just a really, like we said, really impressive performance here tonight from Peoria High. Final buzzer sounds. They take care of Normal Community at home tonight, 56-35 in dominating fashion for Peoria High. They move to 20-3 on the year, now 6-0 in the Big 12 Conference, strengthening their hold on first place. For Normal Community, it's back to the drawing board, 23-3 now, 6-2 in Big 12 Conference play. And Latif, after a game like this for Peoria High, confidence is at an all-time high. Normal Community's got to regroup a little bit. What's next? What can you look forward to for both teams moving forward?
For Normal, you definitely looking forward to the next game. You want to get back out there to hurry up to make this loss. You want to make this loss forgettable. Like, you want to get the next game over with really quickly to get this loss out of your mind, so you guys can move on. Because they have state title hopes as well. Still a very good team. Like Peoria's in a different class. They're in literally and figuratively in a different class than Normal Community. But for Peoria, you come back off a loss and you really handle business, and so that's really good for your morale, your confidence, and so that's a really good really good to see that they came off the loss to a very tough Lincoln team and handled business against Norman Community, sending a message to the whole conference that they're the best team in the conference and they're not to be reckoned with.
Yeah, like we said, they put the Big 12 Conference and the entire state of Illinois on notice tonight that the state title might have to run through the Peoria High Lions. And what a night it was for the two stars for Peoria High. Aaliyah Guyton with a game high and a team high 21 points. Not far behind her was her running mate, Denali Craig Edwards, 15 points for the senior forward after a double-double against Peoria Notre Dame. And 2 games ago, obviously coming off that loss against Lincoln, they needed their 2 star players to step up, and step up they did.
Yeah, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. This was a big-time game. A lot of eyes watching this, maybe not in here because of the snow, but on the stream and then, in the media. So this is going to be one of those games you look back on throughout the whole season, and it's a stepping stone for Peoria, handling business in the Big 12. They're 1-1 against Peoria Notre Dame this year, so it'll be fun to see how they finish out conference play.
Yeah, a lot of time left in the season in Big 12 conference play. We'll see how that conference race shakes out. We saw a good one tonight between 2 of the best teams in the state of Illinois. Peoria High able to come out on top 56-35 over Normal Community. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in tonight on ClutchSportsIL.com. We'll see you next time.